Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Fathers of Taste with your gracious and illustrious hosts, Eli and Moses.
Yes, sir.
And today we're doing an album that is very near and dear to the both of us, I think. It's called If Nevermore. This one's the deluxe, so Anhedonia is the name of the deluxe. So it's called If Nevermore Anhedonia. And this is probably going to be a longer episode for sure, because we have a lot of things to talk about for them. So yeah, it's going to be a lot to speak on for sure.
Yeah, there's a lot of content here.
Firstly, we do want to say that this is an album that we have listened to previously, except for the new songs, the 4 new songs that have been added through the deluxe. So we've listened to this album before, but we wanted to put it on the podcast because we ourselves haven't gotten a chance to have like an actual full conversation of what we felt like about this album. It was always in bits and pieces. So here we now get to sit down and talk about this album for a good bit. At least we get some long-term content out of it. We definitely are going to have a long conversation about this album because this is an album that we think very highly of. And also like we'll have our ratings, and today I brought notes. Today I brought extra notes for this album because I was extremely impressed with everything about this album and how it all came together. So we're gonna get into it, and we're gonna go through, like I said, the same things we've been going through. Got your lyrics, instrumental, your production, and vibes are the 4 categories that we're grading for each of these songs. This song is an 18-track album. So similar to last week's episode of Kanye's Bully, but instead of it being 42 minutes, this one is 55. So it spans just under an hour. So maybe we might not have that. Well, for the first 14 songs, we knew we really necessarily didn't have a problem with a good portion of the songs being too short. There are a couple, but we'll get to those down the line. So our first song of this album is called Mycelium Eyes. And I love this song with a passion.
Yeah, it's great.
And this song genuinely sets the stage for this entire album. Single-handedly, this song, it's amazing, bro. It hits everything. It does everything that it's supposed to do. This song here genuinely impressed me, and it definitely ushered me into the album. Now, granted, right, what really technically drew me into the album prior to this was that Suburban had a point in time where he was releasing these songs and bits and pieces of the album. He was setting them up as singles. So we heard at least 6 songs off of the album before it fully released. And all 6 of those songs were really good that he released, and then he released the whole album. And to have this song be the album's intro was an amazing choice, especially with all of the build-up that I felt came from him releasing these 6 songs to him announcing the album. So this song, Mycelium Eyes, I gave it an S for lyrics. And that's just simply for lines. The first line of the song and the very first line of the album is, I fantasize about losing touch with my humanity. As the first line of the song, he says he fantasizes about losing touch with his humanity. And it's already lines like this that set the tone for the album, because as we discussed for the past 2 episodes, I am a man that is very big on lyrics. Lyrics is what pulls me into a song. Lyrics is what, more often than not, makes me like a song. And it's that and production is what I always lean towards for that similar, that similar pattern. The lyrics and the production on this one, amazing. The instrumental, amazing. I vibe all the way through the song. I have no problem vibing to this song. Like, you could listen to it for the lyrics, or you could listen to it for the instrumental and the production. Like, this song basically provides both in the spectrum. You can listen to them both together. This song just works. So I gave it a S for lyrics, an S for instrumental, an S for production, and an S for vibes. Now, I said last week that S's are going to be hard to come by for me. But with this episode, it's not like I'm going to be giving them out graciously, but there are a lot of S's on this album because there are a lot of things I've felt this album genuinely did for me. So there's going to be a lot of S's on this one. But in all four categories, I gave Mycelium Eyes an S. Like I said, I think that's a way that you're supposed to open your album with something engaging, something exciting, something to make you look forward to the album, right?
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts on this song, Moses?
There's a very like goofy, very like weird looking Pokemon named Ditto. I don't know if you know him, but he is me.
It's like
I absolutely love the way that we are starting this album. Mycelium Eyes is such a strong song. I'm hooked by just like that opening instrumental, but then like as soon as like he gets like that line you were talking about, like the fantasizing, it like, man, it's so good. And then it gets like better like when he hits the chorus, like you get like that like I don't know if you know the I mean I'm sure you do, like the old school like Teen Titans, like the 2000s like animated Teen Titans. It has like that like it has like that sound of like when you get to like the chorus part, and man, that part just it's so good. It's so well produced. Like the lyrics match the vibe as well. Like, yeah, I mean it's S's across the board, bro. I don't think I have any other really like notes that would be different from yours. Like the way it sounds and comes together is just so perfect to start the album off.
Yeah, like I said, I genuinely couldn't think of better intro track than that. Like the intro, like this song, and it has so much replay value too, because then there's some things that like you heard the song once and you think you hear everything, but then you go back and there was a lyric that you missed that you're like, yo, that's actually a really good lyric. Or there's like something in the beat that you missed, or there was a switch, or you can like go back and just constantly hear different things that you missed. And yo, it's such a good song and it has such good replay value. Honestly, that to me, like I said, was the perfect way you start off with this album. You hooked us in with the way that you sung the verses and then the way that you delivered the chorus. The song is just great. It's just a great song. Like I said, I can't complain about it. It's just a great song overall. And I don't think it gets much better than that. That's a beautiful opening. Like, yeah, it's beautiful.
It really is great. I mean, it really is great.
That's a great song, bro. That's a great
I'm the
song.
lost lamb. Love will cost him. Man, it's just like there's so much to love about this.
She's like, oh no, she will never take how I blossom. Or what does it say? Yeah. Oh no, she can never take how I blossom from exhaustion, orthodoxy. Oh no, she could never. I was like, yo, what? Bro, like this writing is like amazing, bro. She can never take how I blossom from exhaustion. Like yo, you're breaking me down. You just keep breaking me down, but you don't realize with every time you break me down, there's a crack in the cocoon, and then I come out as something completely different when it's all said and done. When I'm tired, I still blossom when I'm tired, because I'm just him. Like, bro, this beautiful opening track, bro. honestly, like I said, the lyrics to the chorus, to the instrumental, everything about this song was great to me. I can't complain any more than that.
Yeah, it really is.
I can't stress it any better. Like, I can't stress it. Track number 2 of this album is called What You Sow. And this is a good follow-up to the opening track of the album. It's a really good opening like track. First off, with the instrumental, the instrumental starts off with like a Catholic piano, and he's basically just like dun, 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 like with the piano, like, and putting like reverb on it. Like the way that he did it, like drew you in, and then when you get the beat drop, the song kicks in, and he's just like he said, "You always reap what you sow. I'll lose myself before I lose you." I'm just like, yo, what? I'm like, that's what you're gonna do with this? I'm like, alright, I see the vision, I see what's happening. He's like, our addiction, what is it?
Our addiction is one I can't keep.
Is not one to keep. Yeah, it's one I can't keep. And that's it. That's the chorus. The whole chorus, fire. And then he starts off the verse with amygdala. Why can't you sleep? I'm filled with foreign chemistry. Do you know, Moses, what the amygdala is?
I believe it is a part of the brain. Can't really tell you where it's located.
Yes, part of the brain, yes. And it's specifically the part of the brain. It's like a almond-shaped mass. It's like an almond-shaped mass of gray matter that's located in your temporal lobe. And it helps with, it's mostly associated with emotional processes, memory, and motivation. And it also plays like a crucial role in your fight or flight senses. And so he's asking this part of the brain, why can't it shut itself off? I don't know, I guess if it's to, like, deal with maybe some pain he might be going through with this particular person. Or it might be just something that he's fighting within himself. But to say that and then be like, also because the amygdala is a part of your brain makeup, it's like part of your chemical makeup. And so he was like, I'm filled with foreign chemistry. Like, my brain is different from everybody else's brain, which is why I wanted to sleep, because I process emotions, memories, and motivations differently from everybody else. And I'm like, I'm hearing this line, and I'm like, see, this is exactly why I'm liking this album so heavily so far. Every song that he's given us has had some gem of, like, deep meaning in it. Like, each lyric you could break down in the songs that he's been writing on this album, and I'm like, yeah, you know what? This is some good writing. And lines like that just made me feel like, yeah, he's always been this good at writing, though. Suburban is the artist of this album. I don't know if we mentioned that. Yeah, this one, man, I gave, for my ratings, lyrics I gave an A, the instrumental I gave an A, the production I gave an A, the vibes I gave an S. I gave everything besides vibes an A, just simply because I felt like Mycelium Eyes was a better track to me personally, overall. Mm-hmm. But I still did like the lyricism, the instrumental, and the production on this one enough to say, alright, not a B, because a B is like just a little bit over like mid. So I give it an A, because I think that's a fair rating. I think it does take a step back from the production of Mycelium Eyes, because Mycelium Eyes was just produced so well with all of the beautiful chaos that it was in the first track. This one is kind of like you still feel the elements of it, and you still like the elements of it. So that's why I gave it the ratings that I gave that. But yeah, those lines are like, wow, you know what? This is going to be a lyrically dense album. So for me, most of the time, it's going to be a good one.
Yeah.
What did you think about this song, Moses? I can't say much more.
I had all A's minus beat. The beat I had itself being a B. I really like the mix in like with that that dun, 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 like that, like you were saying, that kind of like Catholic kind of piano. Just like the bass itself wasn't one that like gravitated me too much in this one. It wasn't bad. It was just like when there was more stuff going on, it was like more engaging to me. So I like the production more than I like just like the little individual like instrumental that's at the bottom. But I mean, not at all is there anything like bad in this. It's a really good number two. I really there's some good, like the way he like delivers. There's some good switch ups too.
Yes, he does.
Yeah, because like when you were talking about like the album like Dala part, right after that is like where he gets like a little bit of like a, I guess, bridge where it's like, when our love should fade, our heartstrings start to fray. I really like that part.
Yes.
He does like he goes in and out pretty well in this song. I mean, there's a lot to really like here.
And honestly, that one, like, and like I said, I feel like that a part of like the lyrics. Like I said too, the lyrics of this song, the lyrics of the first two songs have been very good. What did he say? He said, "Amygdala, why can't you sleep? I'm filled with foreign chemistry. My appetite has yet to cease. My dissonance grows loud." And then he goes into like the part Moses was just singing, "When our love should fade," and he says, "Our heartstrings start to fray." I was like, wow. I'm like, he's like punching us in the gut right now with these lyrics. Like, it's good lyric after good lyric after good lyric. And I look at it. I look at a good lyric as a lyric that you could interpret multiple different ways. Or like if you have a punchline and it's a really good punchline based off of wordplay, it's stuff like that. But when you write down stuff that's like almost pure poetry and it sounds really good, and there's a lot of different ways you could interpret it and interpolate it into other things, this song did that well for me. I still do think that Mycelium Eyes is a better song than What You Sow, but still good in its own right. Still really good in its own right. I have no complaints with this song at all whatsoever. We move to the next song, right? Song number 3 is called Skinny Loser. It's one of my favorite tracks on this album. I actually believe that we made a list for this album, but it wasn't for the deluxe. So now we have to do a new ranking video with the deluxe, because there's quite a few songs in the deluxe that could probably make it into like the top 5. So you gotta fight to figure out where you're gonna put all of those songs at when we rank them. But this song, I have to give an A for lyrics. And that's simply just for lines like, "If I could have the parts of you you give to everybody but me, you know I could part with you, because all you can give is your body." And I was like, yo, what, bro? I'm like, he's talking spicy. Like, these are some lines. Like, this is like poetry emotion going on right now. I really like that line of the song, and that's in the chorus. And it was also the way he sung the chorus was also enjoyable to me personally. This was my first time hearing him like doing a rock style song, because the Suburban I'm used to does a lot with like alternative, like electronic kind of instrumentals, like instrumental breakdowns. So like with Kratos, he has verses, but he has a whole bunch of instrumental breakdowns between those verses, which he was widely known for. So this album kind of gave me a different flavor from him, if you will, because this was a side of Suburban that I have never personally seen. So when he came out with this, I was like, yo, this is different. And I was like, is he going in a different direction? Whole time, it's not even necessarily him going in a different direction. He's just now adding new sounds to his already peculiar sound. So I really like this song. So I gave the lyrics an A. I gave the instrumental an S. I gave the production an S, and I gave the vibes an A. Now, vibes for A might be a bit questionable to Moses. I don't know how he feels about it yet. It might be questionable. Simply because he would probably feel you vibe to Skinny Loser like the same way you would vibe to the first two. But this one, I was like, yeah, I like this one, but the other two to me are just, they might be like slightly better in terms of vibe. Mm-hmm. What are your thoughts, Moses?
This is one that like I loved like immediately. I mean, it was like when we first, because I was looking back to see like when we did that like initial like list of like the rankings, like when you first had me listen to the first version last year, just because I was like curious to see like how listening to it, what that was like. I think that was like June. So what, like that's like 9 months, 8 months that it's
been quite some time.
Yeah, and I haven't like listened to it fully since. So I was curious how like my ranking would be different now than it was then. And I mean, Skinny Loser back then was number 2. And I'd say it's still probably like number 3. I would still put it like that high up. It's just that now like Mycelium Eyes is up there. I didn't have Mycelium Eyes that high before. I think that actually went from like 5th place to either 2nd or 1st. I'd have to think about it. But I mean, yeah, Skinny Loser is one that I love so much. Like I love, like I'm a sucker for like kind of like emo rock. So like this song and its vibe, its lyrics, like I gave like the lyrics like an S. Like I'm like a sucker for that, like those kind of like emo lyrics, like how he like starts off where he's like, I'm such a loser, like I've had enough. Like that, it hooks me in immediately. But there's some like genuinely great lines in here. Like I'm trying to see, like I know you liked the one about the bodies. I can't remember exactly how it goes, but
and if I could have the part with you,
yeah,
give
that
it
part,
everybody,
yeah.
You know I could part with you because all you can give is your body. No, I was like, ooh, I was like, yo, he's cooking.
But like yeah, so you have like that verse there, which you like a lot, and then there's like also like the second verse, which like, you know, goes back into like that same flow, and then like the lines there, like if I could escape from myself, I know I wouldn't take you with me. Make me feel like you make me feel like someone else. I hope you miss me when you're when you kiss these lips.
You miss me when you kiss these lips.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my, wow,
bro.
And wow, I was like, yo, yeah, he's genuinely. So you know what? I might have lied. Maybe on Skinny Loser, it might have to get a bump up from A to S. But yo, this song, now that you reminded me of that, this song did genuinely have some like really good lines in it. I was fairly surprised, like, and for it to sound this good, for a sound that I've never heard from Suburban, made me like, yo, this is a complete song. Like he did his thing with this.
Nah, for real. Yeah, there was that part.
So yeah, we're gonna change that.
And then there was also like I'm sick of being less than. I want to be the only painting in your home. Worship my image alone. But that's not realistic.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just another frail-looking boy, not your first choice. So it's like, man, like those, it's a good vibe. It's a good way that he's like producing it. I love that like kind of like rock sound. Sometimes a guitar, like when he's like saying some of like the verses, just kind of feels like it's meant to be like a little bit more low key. So I had the bass as like an A, like the beat is like an A. But production and vibes are both S's as well. So lyrics, like it's still like it's still like one of my like favorites now months later.
Yeah, I do like this song. This song has a lot to offer. So I think here is where we get to our first like maybe sort of disagreement about this album. Because I know the last time that you listened to this album, this was one of your favorite songs. And this song is called Stay Still. Personally, I wasn't the greatest fan of Stay Still. And I was just simply because I wasn't a big fan of the lyrics. I do think the song has a good vibe, but the song has a decent vibe to me. It's just because I'm not really liking the lyrics, and didn't really I wasn't really a huge fan of the instrumental either. But the production was good as usual. So for my I4 for this song, I put a B for lyrics, a B for instrumental, an A for production, and a B for vibes. I vibe with this song less than I vibe with Skinny Loser, and Skinny Loser's at an A, so therefore this song has to be lower than that, because I can't put them on the same grade scale, and I like this one less. I feel like my A's have to be like equal if I'm gonna put them on the same plane. But yeah, Stay Still. I don't know. I just thought it was a bit awkward, like, from the instrumental. When he first started singing the lyrics, I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, is this suburban? Like, this is suburban? And I'm thinking he had a feature or some shit that he didn't list. I'm like, no, that's him, which made me kind of impressed, because I was like, yo, that doesn't sound like him, like, at all. So I was kind of impressed. But I was also kind of, like, annoyed with how it sounded. Like, take a green card. And I'm just like, sometimes, like, if I'll go through and listen to the whole album, and sometimes I will skip this song, because it's just like, to me, it's not a bad song. I still kind of vibe with it. It's just not my favorite song off this album. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so I know you had a differing opinion, so I wanted to hear what points you gave this one.
Yeah, I think I might change just one thing. So initially I had basically all A's except for the vibe. The vibe I did give like an S, and I think it's because I was so high on like everything else that it was like the way like it all kind of came together. Like that kind of like high pitched singing did land for me. That is like one of those things where it's like it either will or won't. It's a little experimental, because I don't really think there's any other song, at least not that I can think of immediately, that has that kind of like vocal performance from him.
Right.
So it is a little out there. It did land for me, because I think the rest of like the song is like low key. Like I do like you don't have too much like crazy stuff going on. It's just kind of like a low key, but it's still like it still fits with like that darker kind of like you get like some like kind of like emo, like darker kind of lyrics, like what, like part of like what he repeats is like the like, and I know if you can't refine me, you'll make a stranger better like me. But I like how at the one time where he says it, he's like, and if my heart cannot embrace it, I'll make sure my liver can take it.
Wow.
Yeah, that was one that struck with me. I think that's why I pushed it up to an A, because it's really just chorus and then like one verse. Like the song itself I think is over 3 minutes, but it's mostly just production, which is why I gave production and B and A, because it is engaging throughout. But I feel like lines like that
like kind of push it up to an A for you.
Pushed the lyrics up, so I could be like an A or a B for the lyrics, because I did also like trying to find like the other part.
Because for me, like I said, I put that as a B, because like I said, I didn't like the lyrics as much as I like the lyrics of Skinny Loser, Mycelium Eyes, and What You Sow. So I figured that had to be on a different tier. Because I do agree, there are some lines in here that's really good, which is why I also still listen to it, because there are some good lyrics in here. I just don't think those lyrics are as good as the previous three we spoke on. Mm-hmm. I don't know. But what is that second line? I'm curious.
So it actually mostly is like just like that kind of like one verse he says, where he's like, I might just leave you for the freak show. He's like, I can't be nervous if you're not there to point and laugh. And when I destroy all my brain cells, I hope your memory could stay still. And he says and then I want you to laugh. So that was, I mean, that's mostly like really like the only thing he says, besides just like kind of going back to like the green card
oh yeah, like the chorus,
like, yeah, basically. But like that, like I really like that line, like I might leave you for the freak show, and it's like I can't be nervous because you're not there to make fun of me, basically. And like and then going right from that to like, when I destroy my brain cells, like I hope like your memory still like remains. It's like, I don't know, there's a bit of like confliction, and I kind of like the way he had the lyrics in here. It's just like there's not too much, it's not too much but what was there did resonate with me.
And that's also why, I mean, I could have also given it an A for lyrics, but like I said, I just don't think I like the lyrics as much as I like the first three, and that's, like I said, just simply because I think those were better written than I feel Stay Still was. Do we have any more thoughts on Stay Still? Because honestly, I do think it's a solid track overall. Like I said, sometimes when I go back and listen through the album, like, I still listen to the song, and then sometimes I skip it if I'm not in the mood to hear it. Like, it's like one of those where I feel like I have to be in the mood to want to listen to it. Because, I mean, it does land with me, and I do think overall it's a good song. It's just not one I feel like I could listen to all the time.
Yeah, it's probably not, like, up to, like, your standard of, like, Suburban. Especially, like, since, like, you were a little lower on it, like, lyrically. I know it's, like, one of, like, your favorite parts about him.
Yeah, see, and that's my only, like, issue with that. But, like I said, it is still a good song. I still do listen to it, from time to time. So our next one is called Like Love. This one I kind of have the same feeling about, Stay Still. Not necessarily due to the singing, but mostly for this song, it's mostly production and instrumental.
Mm-hmm.
For this song, there's not really much there, lyrically. But one of the lyrics that I did like for this song, he does open up the song literally saying, "I'm as astray as you are," is the first line. And then he says after, "Oh, my remedy is lost between your legs, but you could fool me." And I was just like, wow, like, yo, like, this is kind of deep. But when getting into it, it was just basically like, I would say a lesser version of, like, Cradles, where he has, like, this thing where it's kind of mostly just the instrumental breakdown of the song and, like, a few lyrics.
Mm-hmm.
I just think he did it better, with his song Cradles than he did here. So for this song, I gave a B for the lyrics, I gave an A for the instrumental, I gave it A for the production, and I gave it an A for the vibes.
Okay.
I might bump that A down to a B simply because I kind of have the same problem with this song as the one that I don't have, that I had before. Kind of like I gotta be in the mood to listen to it. Yeah. Like, it's not one of my favorite, suburban songs. And like I said, he basically did the same thing, but he did it better on Cradles than he did here, in terms of the, like, instrumental breakdown piece. But outside of that, though, I still do believe it is a solid track. It's a solid song. Just, not what I feel like I would want from Suburban.
Yeah. I mean, you were, like, slightly a little higher on it. I mean, I gave everything a B, essentially. I think still overall competently made. There's nothing to hate in terms of, like, the beat and production. It just wasn't, like, my favorite, like that, like the it goes like a dun 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 dun, which I think is good. It's just overall, I just think everything came out to be just like a little, like, just like solid. Like, it's like, it's okay. It is, I think, like 220 something in terms of, like, length. So it is shorter. It's just for, like, that 2.5 minutes. It just didn't really. I wasn't really, like, amazed. I wasn't, like, but it's not bad at all. Like, I don't have any bad opinions about it. It's just, like, good. Okay,
it's just, like,
sure.
It wasn't great.
Yeah.
It wasn't like all of the other songs that we like on the level.
Right.
Essentially. So we have song number 6. And song number 6 was also another one of my favorite songs on this album. And it's called In Sunder. The very first time I heard this song, I instantly fell in love with it. Just from the way that the instrumental plays into it, then the way that he kind of sings the chorus. This song, like the little ballad, it's like the ballad of vocals behind, or the ballad of an instrumental behind his lyrics, and then kind of paired with, like, what I feel would be like, not like a hoedown, but it kind of gives this like, what would I describe that as?
You think about like that, like piano?
Because, yeah, you hit the piano that gives you like the ballad, but then it's like the guitar that comes in, like during the instrumental part of it. Hold on, let me give it a quick listen back. Oh yeah, that dun 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 dun. I was like, kind of sounds like it's like a part, like basically the entire instrumental feels like it's a part of like a ballad, like you're a part of like some kind of like show. The instrumental just is what captivated me with the way that he was also singing the chorus. And that's what it was. So literally the chorus of it goes, gasoline took the wheel. Sad machines taught me not to feel. With those violent reveries broadcast throughout the day. Took a turn for the worst. Silenced quick, wherein could hurt. In Sunder to this to fancy this blue-eyed wonder. Enchants me to hell. I was like, yo, this whole entire chorus is just written like so well. And then to go into the verse, you hear all of those good lyrics from the chorus, and then to go into the verse and he says, am I wrong to deny myself solace with our demise? So essentially, like, he's denying himself, I guess, peace from the situation of, I guess, this relationship kind of exploding and, you know, kind of just falling apart. Which, Moses, I told you I had a theory.
You did.
So, by song 6, right, in Sunder when you're listening, there were 6 tracks originally that he had released before he released the full 14-track album. I can't exactly remember the exact songs that came out before the album, but I think there was Mascara, Make Me Forget, Fingernails that was out, Skinny Loser, What You Sow, Skinny Loser, In Sunder, Make Me Forget, Fingernails, Mascara, Make Me Forget, and Fingernails was all released as singles before the album. So my theory is, while I'm listening to this album, that it's a storytelling album about like suburban and I guess like some relationship problems that he might be having or he might be facing. Or it could be him basically talking about the relationship with himself. He could be talking about the relationship with himself. Because like he said, he mentioned speaking to his amygdala, which he's like, you know, why can't you sleep? I'm filled with foreign chemistry. There's like lines that I feel give away that like this is a storytelling album. Because like he said, sad machines, which I guess are like the TV screens, the radio, our phones, taught him not to feel. Like it trained his amygdala not to feel, not to have feelings about anything, because we know what the amygdala does, like in terms of like your brain. It's like your emotional processes, your memory, and motivation. Basically, I guess he's going through this thing with this girl, or he's going through this thing with himself where he's fighting to, like, I don't know, he's fighting to get out of it, or I can't exactly explain to you guys exactly what I'm thinking like right now in terms of this album, but I honestly do believe that like so far as I listen and connect different lyrics and things together, it feels like he's telling a story. It's just the perfect, I don't have the perfect interpretation of the album to be like, yeah, this is spot on what it is, which is why I told Moses I had a theory that I wanted to get out.
Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think about that theory, though?
It's definitely a compelling one, for sure. There's an album, I won't say, because it's one I do plan to do in the future. Like, there is an album that I saw, like, a theory about that, like, it's part of, like, I forget how many songs are, like, in the actual album. It might be, like, 10 or so. That, like, 2 songs in it are, like, very, like, thematically, like, connected and, like, are telling a story. Just like, within those 2 songs. Inside of this album of, like, however many it might be, like, a dozen or 10 or, like, whatever, 8. Those 2 songs are actually part of, like, a trilogy, too. And there's, like, a song, like, at, like, in like another album that might conclude that like trilogy too. So like telling stories like within the album just through like certain songs, like you were saying, like maybe like the singles were what he wanted to tell those that one story about either like a relationship or like his own, or like a relationship with someone else or like a relationship with himself could be. I mean, it's definitely interesting. It's definitely within like the realm of possibility. I think it's an engaging thought.
As I was saying, I was thinking about it, and I'm like, even from the first 6 songs that got released from the album, and I was like, yo, is this gonna be a storytelling album from suburban with different, like with kind of like different genres of music in it? I was like, if so, this is probably going to be his best project yet. And it ended up being that for me. It ended up being like probably my favorite suburban album like that he's ever made. And he has like 3 of them. Yeah, this album I was really excited. I was happy with. So for In Sunder, honestly, I gotta give In Sunder an S for lyrics. I had it originally listed at an A, but then I went through it again, read it, thought about what I read, and was like, you know what? We got to put an S for this one. So I put S for lyrics. The instrumental, like that ballad kind of instrumental, I thought was really nice with like not a like a carousel, like it was kind of like a carousel, like those carousel jingles at the fair. I feel like was kind of like the instrumental and what he was going for, and I was like, yo, I really like this. So I gave the instrumental an A. For production, I gave it an S, and for vibes, I gave it an S. This is, like I said, another one of my favorite songs off of this album, and it was as lyrically dense as it was exquisitely produced, as it was, as the instrumental was crafted, and as the vibes were given out. Like, this song was complete, and what was it? It was a 3-minute, 25-second song. It was complete, and it felt good, and it didn't feel like it was, like, drawn out. But it also didn't feel like it was too short either. So, yeah, this song was pretty well for me. I liked it a lot.
Yeah. In Sunder was actually the number one I had, because when you were trying to get me into suburban, at that time the album I don't believe had released yet, but he was releasing a bunch of singles, so you were kind of sending me the singles as you went along, so I'd listened to some early ones like Fingernails, Mascara, like, you know, like the ones you were mentioning earlier.
Right.
And In Sunder was one of those ones, and when I'd heard In Sunder, it was immediately one of my favorites. So when I did eventually listen to the album, that was like my solidified number one. Like when I was like listening to the album again, I'm like, yeah, this is still like my favorite one. It's such a good song. And I think the reason why, I was kind of thinking about like how I was like gonna phrase it when you were giving like your ratings. I think I would just describe it as like very like timeless. Like you have a lot of different, like you were saying, you said you were kind of thinking of like a carousel. I was also along the similar lines in terms of thinking about the piano. Like you have like that dun 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 dun. Now I was thinking more like
that ballad feel.
Yeah, I was thinking more like The Entertainer from like Scott Joplin, which is usually like recognized as like the ice cream truck song, like that dun 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 dun. But it like, again, it's like along the similar thing. It feels like old timey. Like it feels like nostalgic, not for like us, but just like nostalgic of just like art in general. Like that's like a very old piece of like music. But then like later on, like I mean, like every time like in the back of like that piano, you get like the guitar you were talking about that you said you liked, so you're getting some rock too. And then like when you get like the halfway point, like you get like that rock again. It like drops like to piano for like a little bit, and it actually goes to like a violin, so it feels like a little like gothic, which I think is definitely needed, because like this album is called If Nevermore, which makes me think of Edgar Allan Poe. like, you know, like the Raven, like the Raven just continuously saying like Nevermore, Nevermore. Like Nevermore is something that, like, when you think about like Edgar Allan Poe, it's like a very like gothic, very like dark, like academia kind of vibe, and this brings that, like it really brings that, and I think that was very much like needed. It like fits so well in with like what he was going with the album, the vibe he was trying to establish. It's a great track. So lyrics, I did have an A. I know you said you had an A initially, then you went up higher. I did have an A as well. And then everything else for this was just an S. Like, I love the way it comes together. I love the way it brings in a few different, like, genres and eras even to just make, like, this one
beautiful
track.
Song.
Yeah, it really is. It really is beautiful.
I'm like, I'm like, this song, it sounds so nice, too. Like I said, with that ballad feel, that old school kind of, you know, like you said, it felt timeless. Like, we were going through different genres of music in this same one, but it was like a ballad, and it felt good. Everything came together, and it just felt good. I loved it, every second of it, and it's still one of my favorite songs on this album, like I said earlier today. The next song that we have here is a song that is called Clip Through You. Yeah, this is also another one of my favorite songs on the album, but I don't think it's as highly rated as some of the other favorite songs. It is an interesting one. So the way it kind of is like it's kind of like an old school rock, if you will. It gives kind of like an old school rock vibe, and that is what I like about it. And I do like some of the lyrics in the song. I think it is well written. So I gave the lyrics for this song an A, the instrumental for this song a B, the production for this song an A, and the vibes for this song an A. And that's simply because, me personally, I liked it a lot. When he opened the song with "My apathy could consume me," I was like, whoa, that's deep. Like, I'm like, yo, he just said his apathy for other people makes him get lost within himself, basically, is what he's saying. And I was just like, whoa, like, that's an insane level of, like, putting yourself last. And that's a big part of, like, I relate to that a lot. Like, trying to put myself second. I've been trying to do a better job of, you know, learning when to, you know, kind of put myself first in certain scenarios, because there's some times where I just gotta back off and put myself second, but there's some times where it's just like, nah, we gotta put ourselves first, and, like, you know, everybody else is gonna have to figure everything else out, because I'm not about to stress over nothing, basically.
Yeah.
But yeah, this song, Clip Through You, yeah, I think it's a pretty well-written song. I think it's solid. And the way that he kind of sings it did definitely land with me. I don't know how Moses felt about it, but the way he sung the song did, like, definitely land with me. So he's like, my apathy could consume me. I can't commit. I'll just clip through everyone. It feels so good when you ruin me. And I was like, yo, he's writing some shit. Then he had another lyric in there that was like, what did he say? It wasn't comatose, but he was saying something like, your bruises numbered like a domino. I was like, whoa, damn, that means like she was going through some shit, or maybe they were going through some shit together that I guess maybe caused some violence. I was like, I don't know too much. I'm not too sure, but yeah, Clip Through You is an interesting piece of work for sure, and I like it. It is one of my favorites.
Yeah, this actually was not one that I had too much to say about. My ratings were essentially just kind of like B's across the board. Again, nothing I disliked. It just wasn't one that I found myself latching onto very heavily. I mean, that was mostly just me though. Like, I liked what you were saying too. It definitely didn't hit me in the same way. But it was interesting to hear what you thought about it though.
I mean, yeah, this one, like, Clip Through You, like I said, it is definitely a good track. For me personally, I mainly resonated with most of the lyrics, and yeah, it made me feel good about the project. Being the 7th song in the project, I was like, yo, this one is interesting. It's a little bit experimental, but it works. It worked for me. And I liked it a lot. So, that's why I gave the ratings I gave it. But I don't have any further thing to say than that. I think it was just a really solid track.
Yeah.
So let me guess. We're on to our next one, right?
Yeah, it should be Mascara coming up.
Yes, Mascara is the next song that we have. Mascara is a really good song.
Yeah,
Mascara is a really good song. Mascara might be. I know I say one of my favorites, and I know I've been saying one of my favorites a lot through this album. But I do have a lot of songs that I really enjoy thoroughly on this album. This being one of them. So basically, he starts out the song saying, "Come here, teach me what I can't learn. Your tears, eat me whole, I deserve. Disgust, to be perverted by you. I cannot contain myself." I was like, whoa. I'm like, yo, he really put into writing, some people's relationships. This one kind of hit me hard, just considering, wow, you're crying about something and it's making me feel bad or kind of manipulates me into feeling bad when I'm like, there really should be no reason I should feel bad, but I feel bad because you're crying. So it's like, damn, you get emotionally manipulated there. And, that's what he's been dealing with, I think, for a good bit of it. And another thing for lyrics that he had that I did really like, that he said for this one, I gotta find it. He said, "You speak things I don't want to hear, but now you've lost your facade."
Mm-hmm.
I was like, yo, because now that you lost the image of who I thought you were, or you lost the image of what you put out there for yourself, it's like, I don't even want to hear you talk anymore. I don't want to hear what you have to say. Nothing. And he also said, "You kept a dirty secret since the start, and now you're finally clean. And now I'm taking a pill for someone else's disease, for someone else's fucking rape disease." Was another one, and I was like, damn, she burned this nigga,
Snoop Dogg.
It was yo, legit, bro. The way he kind of went into detail, he went into depth. Now, mind you, the song is short. It's 2 minutes. It's 2 minutes and 15 seconds. But I think it conveys a lot in that 2 minutes and 15 seconds. And I think we go through a lot in that 2 minute and 15 second mark. So, my ratings for this song, I have to give an S for the lyrics, an A for the instrumental, a P for the production, and an S for the vibes. Like I said, there's going to be a lot of S's on this album, a lot of S's and A's on this album, because I really do appreciate the writing and the production and a lot of the vibes that came from this album. I also appreciate a good bit of the instrumentals, which is why I'm so high on this album. It just, everything kind of came together and it worked for me. And yeah, that was it. That was it for this song. That was it for me. I like what he did with it. It's extremely catchy. It's 2 minutes and 15 seconds, so its replay value is high. This song has a lot to offer for anybody who's looking into getting into this kind of stuff. For anybody looking into this song, it has a lot to offer from the instrumental. The instrumental has a bouncy beat. It's very, it kind of reminds me of old school pop, mixed with some electronic is how I kind of feel about the album. But yeah, that's what makes it kind of catchy too, the instrumental and the way that it flips back. A lot of these songs, the reason why Suburban has been put into the category of alternative is his ability to blend genres. It just comes so easy. It comes easy and it comes naturally. And from what I know, he produces most of his beats, I believe. I think he makes his instrumentals and he writes his lyrics. So he's a double threat, triple, because I think he also does some ghostwriting and makes some beats for other people too. So yeah, he's just so good at that. He's just so good with the writing. The lyrics are off the chart.
Valid. Very solid. Okay. I gave Mascara all D's. No, I'm playing.
You gave Mascara
I'm
all what?
I'm fucking with you. I'm fucking
way!
I'm fucking with you.
Way!
I'm fucking with you.
Oh my
No. Again, it's kind of similar to what like Clip Through You that we were just talking about, where I think you're definitely a bit higher on it than me. I do the thing I like the most. I like that bass line, like that guitar that's like at the bottom of this. I really like that.
Yeah.
I think it's really good. I gave the beat an A for that. Production I gave a B. Lyrics I gave a B. I did give vibe an A. I think the bass line and like the beat kind of helps like get me into it, even if I don't like latch on too much to like the lyrics and the production. I still like mess with like the vibe, so like I did still give it an A for that. But I mean overall, yeah, it's like a 215, I think you said, song. It's not, too much going on there. It's one that like if it came on in like the shuffle and like if I shuffled the album, or if it just like came on like a like shuffle in like a playlist or something, I don't know if I'd skip it. I think I'd probably listen to it because it is a vibe. But I didn't feel too like astonished by it or anything like that. It was solid. It was good.
Honestly, like I said, it's a solid track. Personally, it's good. Like I said, there's not many songs that I skipped over in this album at all. Like I practically listened to all of them. I said Stay Still and Like Love so far have been the only two that I'm kind of like, I don't really listen to like that. But everything else though, I've replayed religiously and probably could sing for you maybe word by word. Honestly, it gets like that. So with that being said, that leads us into the next song number 9, titled Make Me Forget. And boy, this is by far my favorite song on the album. I just like everything that goes into it. Like I said, so far, Suburban has this uncanny ability to be able to mix like the dark pop genre with like old school pop. So with the way that he does this instrumental for Make Me Forget, it's kind of reminiscent to Never Gonna Give You Up in terms of like the sounds of the snare. And it's basically that goes all the way through the beat, and like you know for a fact that it kind of gives you that little like, okay, I feel this, like that little bounce, and then you kind of get like not necessarily a crescendo, but you kind of get that beat build up, and it just made the song extremely exciting for me. So it's kind of like, I want you to make me forget who I am tonight. I'm just like, yo, I like this guy. This song literally has me feeling like I'm like listening to like some kind of old school like pop, and it's making me like, but it's like modernized, and I'm like, yeah, he's doing his thing with this one. It's like a dark pop mixed with an old pop kind of instrumental, and then with the way that he does the song, the way that it was produced, everything for me just came together on this song. Like, this is by far probably the most listened to song on the album for me, and I could basically, no matter what mood I'm in, I could listen to this song and be hyped at listening to it. Like, I could be sad, pissed, happy, excited, nervous. I listen to this song, bro, and the song just like gives me life, legit. And it just feels good, bro. There's some lyrics in here that also made me like, wow, this is interesting. So he basically is like, the way your words can itch my ears, and if I know you, and I might, the misalignment in your tears. Bizarre, I hardly touched you. Your skin's too hard to leave a puncture. And in our crux, we become slugs again. I was like, he's writing, like he's writing. Like this is like poetry in almost like the highest form. Like, and then to do this over this like dark pop / old pop mix, it just was like everything came together for me. The song was very catchy. And this is probably like, if I were to tell someone to listen to a suburban song, it definitely would have to be this one if I'm going to ease them into it. This is probably like the most mainstream like song that suburban has, personally, I feel, outside of Cradles. So for this one, for everything that this song does for me and everything that this song makes me feel, and back to front, I gave S's in all 4 categories. Because like I said, the production was splendid. The vibes are immaculate. The instrumental in and of itself, like I said, is that mix of like dark pop plus the old school pop that I really enjoyed. And then the lyrics, I gave an S for the line, basically like the whole chorus in and of itself was like, man, that makes you think, it's deep. And basically he's going through all of this, and in his mind, he's like, I just want you to make me forget who I am tonight. And like, I was just like, yo, wow. Like, the feeling, it kind of goes back to the I fantasize about losing touch with my humanity in Mycelium Eyes. And here we kind of come around, which also I feel like supports my theory of this album being a storytelling album, I feel like, because we have a lot of lines in this song that I feel, connect to other lines in previous songs and connect to other lines to songs later on down the album. So this one for me was probably like the most mainstream song out of this album. Probably for me the most likely to actually be like a radio hit. This one to me was everything for this album. Like it made me enjoy it. And it was one of the first singles released from the album before he released the full album, before he released the full project. So yeah, that's where I get a lot of the like from, because I heard it early before the album, and this was the song that was like, yo, I'm going to love this album when he releases it. Like I got a good feeling, and it just happened to be that.
Okay, yeah. I'm with you on beat and production. I really love the instrumental. I think it's mixed very well, especially like when you get just like a lot of like reverbs and echoes when he says like lines. Like you could really feel like the gravity of it, especially like when you get to like that snare, like you were saying, which just adds like a further oomph. It's a very it's a very physical song. So actually, I did have Vibe as B. I think I might bump that up to an A though, because I really like that echo. The way that like the production really amplifies and mixes with that snare you were talking about. Like it's very like kinetic. It's very like energetic. I think the reason why I had Vibe as a B before, I'm not sure. I'm not too hung up on the lyrics too much. I gave them a B. They just didn't necessarily resonate with me. In the same way that the like energy of like everything else, like production and beat wise, that was happening with the song. But yeah, I mean, I would say probably B for that, and then just straight A's for the rest of those. I really like that energy that's going on in here.
I said the energy, like this song, Steph's Kiss, and hats off to Suburban for this song. Like I said, this is my favorite song by far off of the album. And like I said, everything that went into it, all the elements and things that he decided to, pick. This one specifically was like everything was perfect together. Like everything was perfect all together. I don't really think there's anything that's left to be desired. It's a 3-minute song, so I think that's a complete song. Honestly,
yeah,
it's 3 minutes and 5 seconds. I feel like it's everything that you could ask for. Everything that you could ask for in a song. I think this song provided, for me anyway. For me, I think it just provided anything, and I don't think you could ask for any more or anything any better. But yeah, that's Make Me Forget, bro. Oh my gosh, I love the song, bro. I really do. Our 10th song that we have, now mind you, this is an 18 track album. So we're on song number 10 now, which is also another one of my favorites. Again, we come back to another one of my favorites, because this entire album to me is fire. Fingernails. Fingernails is a good one. This one definitely is him delving into his dark pop genre that like he sits in very heavily. And this one, I think, probably had, like, the darkest lyrics out of everything in this album. You know, he goes into some things, and I was just like, wow. Like, yo, this is kind of deep. Like, he starts off the song, bearing your back. I'll sink my fingernails until they crack. Splinter your epidermis, which is, like, I'm digging my fingernails, like, so deep into your back, I guess, of embrace, of not wanting to let go. Like, want to hold on tight, and he's saying, like, I'm holding you this tight, and I'm basically, like, splintering your skin. I'm giving you small cuts because I'm trying to hold on to you so tightly, like, because I want to be with you, and this is something that I like. But now, this is where it gets interesting. He also states later on in the chorus, he says, our minds decay as desire betrays our reasoning. So it's like, I want you so bad, but I know for a fact that you're not good for me. I want you bad, but I know you're not good for me. Like, there's a lot of things that you do that is just like, no, like, this is bad. This is not good for me. This is not good for my mental health. This is like my amygdala is suffering because of you. Like, once again, we go back to Mycelium Eyes, which, like I said, I feel like this album is a storytelling album, and, like, the hardships of between him and this woman, or between him and this woman, or between him and himself, whichever it may be. He then goes to say after that, I can't believe I want you more than just your bad company. And I'm like, to me, it signals, like, a toxic relationship. Like, this song, like I said, it's probably the darkest song on the album. And personally, for some people, it's not going to be of their taste. But everything that this song did for me, I really liked. And especially with it being right after my favorite song of the album, it did a really good job keeping the pace up to the next like couple of songs, honestly. So for this song, I gave an S for the lyrics. I gave an A for the instrumental, an A for the production, and a V for the vibes. Or, I'm sorry, an S for the vibes. My apologies. But yeah, so basically SAAS. So lyrics S, instrumental A, production A, vibes S. As I said, I really enjoyed this song lyrically, and the song had some good production, and it just vibed with me heavy, being that he's, like, delving into one of the genres that he's best known for.
I do like the beat. I like there's like a bit of, like, a kind of like a techno, I feel like, in this, like, a little bit. Oh yeah, especially, like, when he gives, like, that like chorus. I think beat A. Lyrics I do really like. Like, I really like, especially, the song's called, like, Fingernails, and throughout the song, he focuses on, like, so many, like, different parts of, like, the body. Like, it's, like, throughout, like, the entire song, there's so many, like, different references to, like, different parts of the body. Like, it starts with, like you were saying, like, the bearing your back.
Yeah, it starts with the bearing your back, yeah.
Yeah, bearing your back. I'll sink my fingernails, under your epidermis. It says, like, the cavities part.
Yes, the cavities, yeah.
Talks about, like, irises.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Bro, yo, I'm just thinking, like, this song, it just got crazier, because now that I'm thinking about it, before, I didn't even originally think about it like that, too, but I'm now noticing, like, the more that we start breaking down the lyrics and actually going through it, that's something new that I found out about the song. But that's also why I gave it an S for lyrics, because I know there was some stuff that I missed while listening to it. So, yeah, go ahead, yeah.
No, yeah, I mean, like, even to, like, the very end, like amongst, like, the last lines, you're, like, you're speaking in tongues again. I'm watching your lips. It's a very, like, visceral imagery that he's conjuring up with, like, this interesting description on all these, like, parts of, like, the body. It even says, like, heartbeat too. Like, there's so much, like, emphasis on, like, the body, and, like, the way he like describes this, like, relationship through, like, these physical descriptions. So I really like the lyrics here. I gave them an A. Probably could give that an S, high key. Beat was also good. The vocal performance isn't my favorite.
Understandable.
Like that, like, bearing your back, like that like little the way he does that, it's not my favorite. So I kind of gave, like, production, like, a B, and then the vibes a B.
Understandable, because if you don't like the way something is being sung, like, you're probably not gonna vibe with it too well.
Yeah, it took me out of it just a little bit. Not enough to, like, give it, like, C's or anything. Just, like, it just took me out of it, like, a little. But, like, I mean, the lyrics, I think, are, like, phenomenal. And I think the beat is enough to keep me pretty entertained throughout, even if I don't really like the vocals as much.
Like I said, as a follow-up to my favorite song on the album, like, this song is extremely good. And on top of that, they were released together. Yeah, they were released together. So it was kind of like, yo, you listen to this, you listen to Make Me Forget, and then Fingernails right after. I'm gonna be honest. At first, the first time that I listened to Fingernails, I don't think I liked it. But then I actually started processing and downloading and listening to what he was saying. The second time that I just instantly fell in love with the song, and then ever since then, like, it's been one of my, like, favorites on this album. I guess for this album, probably my favorites would be the ones that consist of, like, the top 10. I get that's 18, it's an 18 song album, so doing a top 10 is basically more than half the album, so a lot of these songs would go into those 10 slots, but still, like, this song is it for me. I liked it. After Fingernails, we have This Void Can Be Satisfied. This song I actually do like, and I did underrate the very first time that I heard it. I was like, this one's interesting, but I did vibe with it immediately first listen. I was like, yo, Suburban going, like, rock again surprised me. Like, a thing about this album is that there was a lot of surprise factor in this album. Like, it was a lot of surprise factor, much more than I initially thought. Because, like I said, I didn't expect Suburban to be doing anything related to, like, rock. And he's had a couple throughout this album, up until this point, that's, like, rock. This one was like, yo, he, like, really does sound good as, like, a rock. Like, he could do rock, too, as well as him doing the dark pop and all the other different things that he does, like the techno, the electronic, whatever you want to call it. Like, he has a bit of everything, and that's genuinely been his skill set throughout his career. But this is the first time, on this album was the first time I think I've ever heard anything like rock related from him, was this album. So this song, for me, I gave an A for lyrics, I gave an A for instrumental, I gave an S for production, and an S for vibes, because I do genuinely vibe with this song. And I do think it is a good, it's a nice, decent song to listen to. It's solid, like, it's extremely solid, and it's catchy. So once you get the hang of it, it's like, yo, this is a good song. Honestly, I could up the lyrics maybe, because there are a lot of lines in this song that I'm just like, yo, that's kind of deep. But one of those lines was, it was two lines that coincide with each other. So it's basically like, how many boys and girls did you experiment with after I graffitied your walls? Was my signature buried in overlap? And I was like, yo, she's like cheating on this man with boys and girls, like, with both, like, you getting cheated on, like with both, bro. My God, like, not both not both, like, BOTH, but both, like, BOF, both of them, like Shannon Sharp, both, like, both of them, like, I'm like, all right, like, my goodness, like, all right. My bad. And then he goes on to state, like, you do not remind me of her. I don't know if this is some random girl. I don't know if this is the ex. I don't know exactly who it is. But like I said, this is exactly why I think this album is a storytelling album. And it's up to us, the listener, to try to convey what he's saying in this story. As far as that, like, yeah, I guess I can stay with an A, because that was like a line, though. Those two lines together that coincided with each other was like, oof. Like, it hit me like a gut punch. But I don't think it's enough to put it up to an S, because I feel like that would need to be more of the whole song. But there were some good things. There was a lot of good things about this song. So yeah, I think I'll keep my ratings the same as they are, but I did really enjoy the song.
I did. I am a sucker for rock. It's probably like one of like my. I guess I could say it's like one of my favorite, or it is my favorite genre. It's definitely the one I listen to the most now. I do find myself listening to rock a lot more than others at this point. So I did like I fucked with the production and the instrumentals like heavy. Those brought the vibe up for me for sure. I even like that like little like electric. It's like do 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 like in the back. It works pretty well. The blend is really good. For lyrics, I did give it a B. When I was listening to it again the other day, that graffitied wall is like little like 2 lines you were talking about, or definitely like the ones that stuck out with me. So when you brought them up, I was like, yeah, for sure. Like that's definitely like some of like the best lines right in there. But I'm not sure. There's not a whole lot else outside of that. It is what like 240, like 250. So it is almost 3. But I feel like there's not much that he says outside of the one verse. It's mostly just like high vibes and like a rock production that I really mess with here. I mean all of those were A's. It was just outside of maybe like that one verse. I don't think there was. I think it maybe could have been longer in terms of what was said maybe. I'm not sure, but I mean not bad. I gave the lyrics a B, but definitely good.
I mean there was a couple of more lyrics. Like the entire second verse for me also was pretty good, which is why I think I rated it so highly. He said, test my company, you won't forget the part of me that's in your chest. My love is free, no consequence, an instrument to be undressed. And if I leave with one more girl, would I have softened a boy? Him ever longing for abyss to come and steal me from this joy. I like that entire second verse too, which is also why I kind of gave the lyrics an A for this. Mm-hmm. But that entire second verse was good. Then we had those kind of like 2 lines that were in the first verse. I was like, you know what? This is it. This is good. I like it a lot. So yeah, that's why I gave the lyrics an A for that one. I did like that in the entirety of that second verse, and then those 2 lines in the first that really they really stuck out with to me, honestly. Let's see what else. So after that, we have a more chill song. It's called "Fill This Empty Mall with Water and Ivy." Long ass title. This one is also 2 minutes and 47 seconds. Funny enough, like the previous one. So "Fill This Empty Mall with Water and Ivy" was a good song. My only problem is though it does have good lyrics, it's a short song, but it doesn't say much outside of it being mostly repetitive. But there's like some lines. He starts off the song, he says, I think I found you way too young. Basically like the chorus, which he's like, whoa, like maybe you are the person that I'm supposed to be with, but I found you at too young an age to understand, and right now we're not compatible with each other. Like right now we're just bumping heads, and there's a bunch of different arguments and things that are happening. So I did like that part of the chorus, but there wasn't much outside of that. It was a short verse, and then we had like the chorus again, and then the end of the song was just "Fill this empty mall with water and ivy" like 3 times. So outside of that, kind of like chorus, verse, chorus, and then a little outro. It wasn't anything too significant, in all honesty.
Yeah.
So what did I give this? So my ratings for this. Let's see, my ratings for this, "Fill This Empty," let's see. So B for the lyrics, B for the instrumental. I gave an S for the production. And I gave an A for the vibes. Because this is a song that I vibe with, but I can't give it an S. The only reason why I gave it an S for production is because I do like the way that everything sounds and blended together. But outside of that, everything else, there wasn't much lyrics being said. And the instrumental to me was somewhat basic. Somewhat basic. But I do still find the song to be enjoyable. So, you know, that it is what it is.
Yeah. No, I mean, not really too much to add for this one. It's not short, but there's not a whole lot going on. the production and the beat, I did give A's. It is simple, but the way it works together, I think, it's still engaging. I mean, the vibe was a little down, just a B, just because it just doesn't really, like, feel like too much is happening. I mean, besides, like, the beat and the production being pretty mixed well, it just kind of feels like the song just, like, exists. Not in, like, a bad way, it's not really doing much.
Yeah, like, I mean, he does say some good stuff in here. Like, I'm looking at the lyrics. He's like, I want you here when I'm not. You are the only thing keeping my throat from swallowing me whole. I was like, wow, that's pretty good writing there. But the problem is it's short. It's like the verses aren't, like, long enough for me to feel like it deserves giving him any more than a B for the lyrics, because most of it is just I think I found you way too young. Basically, is like the thing of the song. The other thing that he said that I really like.
It feels like Circles from Bully.
It does kind of feel like Circles from Bully, but I think it was done a bit better.
Yeah.
It was done just slightly better. Circles was, what was it? It was 11 lines in total, and like four of the lines was just him saying circles 4 times. So it was like, nah, bro, but yes, this does kind of feel like that. But it is still a good song, though. But I do think he said a bit more in this one than they did in Circles.
Production-wise, it's better, too.
You know, and production-wise, yeah, I also do feel like it's better as well. There was something that he did say that I also did like. I want to flush my synapses. I can't bear to detach my devotion. I'll strip my ego before then. Before he detaches himself from this person, whether it's himself or a girl, we still don't know. But with the way that everything's being written and portrayed, it makes it seem like it's a storytelling about a relationship between him and a girl that he likes. But him saying, like, he'll strip his ego, like, tear everything down before he detaches his devotion to this chick is, like, insane. Like, this is insane lyricism. Like, it's a good display of writing. It's just, it's not enough writing for me to be like, all right, let's make that, like, an S. But it is really good lyrics, though. It's just, most of the song, though, is I think I found you way too young. So, like, you know, that's the only problem I have with it. The verses could have been maybe a little bit longer, and I might have been a little bit happier with the song. I still like it regardless, though. It is still one that I do like a lot. So, you know, we go from there.
It's chill. I mean, yeah, I mean, it's well made.
It's good.
It's well made. It's just, it's not really my favorite.
After that, we have See Myself. This is another one where I feel kind of like the same as like Stay Still and Like Love. It's a thing where he does that instrumental breakdown in between. I'm not gonna lie, it is a nice instrumental breakdown, but I just don't believe it's to the same level as he did it with Cradles. So, you know, it's kind of like he didn't do it to the same level as Cradle. So for me, it still kind of gets a bit of a hit in certain areas. But I do still like the song. So for See Myself, I gave the lyrics a B. If I'm going over it, there's not really much I have to say. It is kind of like this. It is kind of like fill this empty mall with water and ivy. The same kind of thing where there are some good lyrics in there, but it is mostly like repetitive.
Mm-hmm.
So for that, I gave it a B for lyrics. I gave it an A for the instrumental. I gave it a P for the production, and I gave it an A for the vibes. Because yes, I still do like the song, and I actually do thoroughly enjoy the instrumental breakdowns between the verses and the chorus.
Not really too much to add on my end. It's mostly... It feels like mostly like the beat and the production are the focus anyway. So lyrics get a B. Both the beat and production get A's. I do like that like guitar mix with the kind of like electronic sound.
Just goes from
like
there, basically.
Yeah, it's almost like acoustic at parts, like the guitar. It's like a very light. I mean, vibe. I think vibe went down maybe just because like the lyrics weren't really anything special. So I had that as a B as well. But I mean,
Understood.
I like what he's doing with like the sound. It's really it though.
And so like for this one, like instrumental and production probably were the focus as much as lyrics, and there is a bit of a vibe there though. It's not like you can't completely not vibe to a song. You can definitely vibe to it for sure. This is one of those where it's like I do listen to it, but I think I'll listen to this one more than I listen to Stay Still and Like Love. But it is still kind of like those two that I don't like really listen to because I'm not that big of a fan of these like particular songs.
Yeah.
But they do what they were meant to do, I guess. Essentially, whatever like they served his purpose for the reasons why he put them out there. So it kind of just works within the album. And it, like I said, it does give us a different taste, and it shows us that he has this skill to be able to produce. So that's what this song, I think, is to me. For the last song of the original album is called When I Can't Make You Mine. And I love this song so much because of the production and the vibe that the production gives me. But the simple fact that it also, oh my gosh, the production and kind of like the instrumental make it like worth listening to the song. Though there's not a lot of lyrics. It's not a lot of lyrics at all. But I did like the instrumental. And I did like the production, and it gave me a vibe. I really like the vibe of this song, though. The only thing I could say that was really kind of lacking in comparison with everything else was the lyrics. Mm-hmm. Even though he did have some good ones in there, it just wasn't a lot. And I feel like the song could have been longer. He could have gave us, I mean, it's 2:41. So technically, you think about it, like 2 minutes and 30 seconds, I feel like sets the mark as to like what is a full song. Like 2 minutes and 30 seconds is pretty good. Mm-hmm. So for this to be 2:40 or for this one to be 2:47 is good. Like that's a complete song. It just doesn't feel complete because I don't feel like I had enough lyrics in the song to be like, yeah, give it anything more than a B. So When I Can't Make You Mine, I put a B for the lyrics. I gave an A for the instrumental. I gave an A for the production, and I gave an S for the vibes because I do sing this song like religiously. Like the first line of the song is literally, "Do I stink of jealousy or pride?" But the whole verse is good. It's short. And then it kind of just goes into When I Can't Make You Mine. It's like, do I stink of jealousy or pride? Seems I make you cry seems I make you cry near every night. When will you grow tired of my voice? You know how to keep me as a boy I've lost, and it stings like a knife. And then he says, my blood clots when I can't make you mine. And then it's kind of like, when I can't make you mine, when I can't make you mine, and then make you mine. Like, that's it. That's all the song is.
Yeah.
So, like, there wasn't enough lyrics in there for me to give it any more than a B. I do definitely give it an S for the vibe because I vibe with the song heavy. Like, I play it over and over again before the album repeats itself. Like, I probably play it twice over. So I'll listen to it once, replay it again, let it play through, and then let the album begin from the beginning, and then listen to Mycelium Eyes all the way down. So what are your thoughts on this one? Because this one, like I said, it kind of reminds me of like you said, Circles, but it's just not that.
Yeah, not a strong reaction to this one. I do like the instrumental. I do give that an A. I mean, everything else I think is like kind of fine. It is short, it is repetitive, not my favorite. Don't necessarily, I wasn't really attached to that like effect or like kind of like thing he was doing like with the vocal, like with the background, like the
you talking about the
yeah. Yeah.
No, I like that. That kind of boosted up the production for me a bit. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it wasn't my favorite. There wasn't really much I lashed on to.
And I mean, as an intro, as an outro, still better than Kanye's outro.
I did like
still
Kanye's
better
outro.
Than Kanye's outro. We like it better than that one, but The intro was much stronger than the outro, for sure. Because like I said, this is the intro is basically what grabbed us into the album. The outro kind of made us like, okay, like this is the ending point of the album. Like it makes a statement that this is the ending point of the album, and that it doesn't go any further than that. So now that's the end of the original album. We still have 4 more songs to talk about, Moses.
Yeah, we
and
do.
And that is the deluxe, which is called Anhedonia, which is just basically an EP of 4 songs that he slapped on to this album because I guess technically they all do fit within the theme of the album. The very first song that he released from this basically EP that he dropped was a song called 555. We'll get into that a little bit later. The first song of this EP that he essentially added to this album is called Hiraeth. Both me and Moses, I think we could both agree that we are both pretty high on this song. It's great. Like, it's a great song, honestly. The instrumental kind of makes me feel like we're in olden times, or like we're kind of like traveling around a carousel. Yeah. Like he's a jester of some sort is kind of what the instrumental feels like.
It's like an upbeat in Sunder.
Yeah, like an upbeat in Sunder essentially is like what this song is. I can't lie. That is a really good comparison. Like it's exactly that. I don't even really think there's a better way to describe that. But yeah, it's literally like an upbeat in Sunder. If it was meant to go extremely hard, like if in Sunder is chill, this song is like the opposite of that. Like he just goes crazy on this one. Like this one is like the production is off the charts. With this, I think I would give the ratings for this song would be A for the lyrics, an S for the instrumental, an S for the production, and an S for the vibes. So basically, all across the board, I have S's except for lyrics. There wasn't many lyrics. There wasn't many lyrics that, I felt should have been, it wasn't many lyrics on this one that I thought was like, that really like stood out. There were a few that I thought was pretty good. So be nurtured and hiding, omniscient, and carouseling the walls the more you drink. And he said, you remind me of her the lower you sink. So I don't know if he's referring to like this ex and he's with a new girl, but he's still thinking about his ex. For me, that kind of goes back to Fingernails, like when he was saying, burying your back. I'll sink my fingernails until they crack, splinter your epidermis. Like him just not letting go of, I guess, this ex or this image of her that he had or the image that he portrayed to him, because he did say at one point that she lost her facade back in Mascara. So it's like, we don't know. He could be talking about the same girl, but it's a different version of the same girl that he fell in love with. Like, do you understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's like, and this is my theory on it. This is exactly why I feel like this album is a storytelling album, because there's so many different lyrics that kind of coincide. I could be reaching to the fucking moon right now. Honestly, I could be reaching to the moon right now. But this album, if you go and listen to it and you listen through song for song, I feel like there are references and callbacks to lyrics in other songs. Originally, I thought Amygdala was her name, right? Was the girl's name? Mm-hmm. Considering that he said, and make me forget, he was like, and guess her name, it might just tongue tie. And I went back and I thought about it, and I'm like, well, the only thing that he said that was kind of a name that could be a tongue, like a tongue twister, or might be a tongue tire, if you will, was Amygdala. So I'm thinking like, oh, shoot, maybe that's the girl's name. But then I did some more research and realized Amygdala is the part of the brain that helps with, the emotional response, memories, and like fight or flight response. So that's what also led me into thinking it could be about him too. Yeah. But we don't fully know.
I mean, when you say it like that, it does paint a very clear like path for that to be the case, because like this isn't as like extreme or like maybe like as extravagant of a example, but I kind of think about Kendrick's newest album, where this guy wrote a whole love song about his fucking pen, bro.
Yes.
And it's like, I mean, obviously the pen like represents like more than just like a literal pen. It's like his creativity, his artistic expression, you know. Like there's a lot that goes into like the pen itself, but like when you get to the end of that song, it's like I forget what that song's called, but is like, yeah, I forget what the song's called, but like this entire time it kind of feels like a love, like kind of like a love song. It's like, oh, this is like pretty sweet, and then he gets like the end, he's like, yeah, because my bitch is my pen. It's like, your pen, nigga. This song's been about a pen this whole time.
Gloria.
Yeah, Gloria.
Exactly,
Yeah,
Gloria. The
yeah.
outro song of GNX.
Yeah,
The outro song of
yeah.
GNX.
Gloria.
Bro. Where he's talking about the pen. Yo, that song, we gotta do, we definitely do have to do a reaction on that song, because that song is fire.
You making that connection between like Make Me Forget and I think it was Make Me Forget you said, and the Mycelium Eyes, right? That's in
Mycelium Eyes, yeah.
Yeah, I think does kind of fit with that, where it's like artistically making it sound like he's singing about, you know, singing like about a person, but really we're talking about like his brain and like his like self, you know, how he views that relationship with his own mind. I think it's a really good connection there.
I'm like, yo, this seems legit. Like, I honestly don't feel like there's any way that this album cannot be a storytelling album. I would be shocked if it wasn't. But like I said, most of this is just speculation. I could be reaching all the way to the moon right now trying to bang and connect these pieces together. But honestly, like when I've listened to pieces of literature like Damn, for example, like Damn, you listen to it forwards, it's a story one way. You listen to it backwards, it's a story another way, with the same exact lyrics, but every lyric in the album is a double entendre or more. Because, like, even you listen to the album front to back, how it was intended to listen to, and then you listen to the album from back to front, it's two separate stories. Meaning that the same lyrics act in the same way going forward as they do going backward, but just in a different context. Not gonna say that that's what this album is doing, but it's like I honestly do believe that it's a storytelling album through and through. Like, there's nothing that like I sit down and make me be like, yeah, nah, this can't be a storytelling album. Like, this definitely is a storytelling album. It has to be. But like I said, this is just speculation. So
it's funny that we both divulged into Kendrick songs. Like, we both divulged into two different Kendrick projects explaining that.
Literally. So it's like this is it. Like, this is where it's at. Like, this is peak writing here. Like, but yeah, Moses, what are your thoughts on this song? Because I know you were very high on this song too. Like,
oh shoot, I forgot I didn't even say anything about it.
Yeah.
I started getting ready to talk about the next one.
Yeah, you gotta give us your ratings, man. You can't just skip over your ratings.
I know, I completely forgot that I didn't even give them. I mean, probably because they're so similar. Yeah, I mean, beat, production, and vibes are all S's here. I did give the lyrics a B just because they felt more simpler, especially for like a suburban song.
Gotcha.
But I'm mostly here for this amazing ass like instrumental. Oh my god, I'm in love with this song, dude.
Like we said before, it's literally just an upbeat version of Sunder, and it works.
It really is. So well. It does. That's probably why I like it so much, because Sunder was one of my favorites off the bat anyway, and this just kind of gave like similar vibes, but like in a completely different like energy.
Yes, and I was like, yo, this is it. I'm like, yo, nah, this is nice. I like this. Okay, let's go ahead and make that work.
Oh yeah.
And he did for sure. So the next one we got is called Chemical Coffins. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are 2 songs away from the end of the album, but Chemical Coffins is the name of the next song. Chemical Coffins I did enjoy, but it was mostly for it was mostly for other reasons outside of the lyrics. Like, there are genuinely some good lyrics in the song, but a part of it being, like, they weren't, like, the greatest. The song is 2 minutes and 4 seconds. Not a long song at all. But for my ratings, I gave a B for the lyrics, an I for the instrumental, an S for the production, and an S for the vibes. Because I did like this song. The instrumental was a bit different. And the way that it started off is kind of like this distortion aspect to, I guess, some kind of piano that he's like playing. The intro for it was a bit long, the intro. But outside of that, though, I did like the vibes and the production mostly, I guess, was what this song was going for.
Yeah, I mean, not too much to add because it definitely is a, like, short. It's a short but sweet. I mean, I gave A's for everything except for lyrics. Lyrics I gave a B, but I do really like that, like, dark. Again, it's kind of like a darker electric song. It's very well done. Yeah, I mean, I think you're right in saying the production is probably the focus here. It's where, like, most of the effort goes, and I think you can tell. Like, I mean, the effort was definitely not misplaced. Like, it is a really good beat in production.
Yeah, it's not much to say about this one. Chemical Coffins, it's a solid song, honestly. Yeah, it's definitely solid. So, I mean, there's nothing really else to say about it. So we're on to the next one. Number 17, 555. We got one more to go. 555. I know you weren't too high on this one as I was. I was definitely high on this song. There wasn't really much in the area of lyrics, but I gave everything an S.
Wow.
Except for the lyrics.
Oh, okay.
Which I gave the lyrics a B. Because, I mean, there was some good stuff. There is some good stuff. But honestly, like, for a suburban and what we know he can write, I don't think I could give this any more than a B. But he does basically, he starts the song off, I said too much. You spun a web and I'm your trophy. And I'm your trophy. And then he goes into the chorus. One of the selling points of this song is kind of the bridge, where he's like, I'm alone, or nah, this would be the verse. He's like, I'm alone in this big house with the hum of my machines. Why are you this rotten now? My body moves without me. What you left, you set in motion, I don't have to answer to. You won't ever get much closer. Honestly, I do think the lyrics are good, but, yeah, I just don't think I could give it an A, though. Because I gave Hiraeth an A for lyrics, and I just don't think it's on the same plane as Hiraeth, lyrically wise. But what are your thoughts? I know you weren't as high on this song as I was. I really like this song, though. I really genuinely do.
Biggest things for me here are probably going to be the instrumental and the production. At first, I wasn't vibing with the production like as much, but you know what, I do kind of like that, like it's like a reverb, and it actually kind of feels like a little, like, kind of like distant, like the way he makes like his voice sound, like when he sings like that chorus, like when you were talking about like the big house, or not the chorus, the first verse. At first I wasn't high on that effect. I actually do like it, that like echoey like reverb, and then it kind of like makes it sound like a little further, like, away. There's a little bit of like distance, and then again like kind of like techno, like dark electric vibe.
I said it goes back to the old pop with the snare. That same thing, bro, has been like the formula for success for this album. That, and it's been playing like every good song I think that we've had that we've really enjoyed, like production wise, almost on this album has had that like old pop like snare, that just like classic snare sound, and just like that adds a level of, like you were saying earlier, oomph to the song, like, and it's there in 555, and I think that's been like the formula for success for these type of songs that he's been doing.
There's some really good bass in this too.
Yeah, he does have good bass in the song too. Like this song is well produced. Like I said, I'm just not as high on the lyrics as everything else.
Nah.
But like I said, the instrumental is good, the production is good, and the vibes that I get from both the instrumental and the production kind of boosted this one up to an S for me, much less than the lyrics. Though the lyrics are catchy, so I did give the lyrics some brownie points for being catchy, because we do like a catchy song, but sometimes like you can be catchy without being repetitive. repetitive sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
You can sometimes be catchy without being repetitive. But yeah, that's 555. I like that song heavy, and I've played it so many times. It's not even funny. Like, it's almost like an addiction. Like, I'm almost addicted to this song, honestly. Genuinely, it just feels good, despite it not having like the best ability and lyricism in terms of what Suburban does and says and what he writes. Yeah, that's really it for me. That's really it for me for this. Do you have any other?
I mean, great production. I think everything else is pretty okay. It's pretty middle of the road, I'd say. You know, take it or leave it, really.
Yeah, it's either that one's kind of you're either gonna love it or you're gonna. Well, nah, you're not gonna hate it. You're either gonna love it or you're gonna dislike it. I don't think you can hate this song, honestly.
Yeah, I don't I don't hate it at all.
I gotta say, there's nothing like, I don't really think there's anything to make you like hate this song, unless like you're so strict on lyrics that it's like, yeah, the song just flat out sucks because the lyrics suck. But outside of that, I don't know. All right, so on to the last song of this gracious album that we have talked about for probably over 2 hours now.
Yeah.
It's called Lord of Nothing, and boy, does it definitely live up to the title. This is one that I don't think either of us were that high on.
It's a whole lot of nothing.
In all honesty, it definitely did feel like a whole lot of nothing. I'm about to look up some of the lyrics on Genius because there could be some things that like we're missing.
I'll tell you what though. I mean,
the production on this one though is like I couldn't really hear what he was saying. You know, with me not being able to hear what he's saying, I'm thinking, you know, I don't know what he's saying. Like, I have no idea. Most of it is like, I think it's time for you to leave. But there's, like, nothing else. It's literally nothing else. Yeah, it's nothing else. His verse is 2 lines. So, yeah, for the lyrics, I'm not even too happy with this one. I gave it a B originally. This I had to directly go to like a C. Honestly, this is probably like this has to be even worse. It's literally all right. So Moses, all right. If you looking at what I'm looking at, you'd be like, it's literally Lord of Nothing. There is nothing. He's not saying anything. It's literally, I think it's time for you to leave. I think it's time. I think it's time for you to leave. I think it's time. Then there's the beat drop. Then it's like, I see what you are. This dream's gone too far. Oh, this dream has gone too far. So maybe he's coming into the reality that this person is not good for him. Maybe he's finally coming into the reality that this person is not good for him. But that's it for the verse.
If you're doing like your like dual theme, like this dream has gone too far, like maybe he's like crashing out at like his brain.
Yes.
Like going back to like the way we were talking about him being at odds with his like mind. Like this dream, like, you know, because that's, you know, REM, like your brain is what like controls like your REM, you know? So it's like this dream, like this state that you've put me in, this reality that like his mind is putting him in, it's gone too far. Like he's at an ends with himself and his mind, if you want to look at it that way that you were talking about it earlier.
I mean, yeah, that definitely could work. Still not gonna get a kick up for lyrics. Most of it is. Yeah. I like the connection. It does work. It does make sense. But those 2 lines is not like it's gonna add much to
right.
It. I mean, it could. It could. Those 2 lines could probably be the most pivotal piece of this entire album, and we wouldn't even know it. For me personally, I don't think these 2 lines are really gonna add much to what it is. I mean, it's just finally that he's coming to reality with letting this person go, I guess. But basically, most of the song is just, I think it's time for you to leave. There's a beat drop, and that's it. So yeah, for this one, I probably have to give it a C for lyrics. I give it a C for lyrics. I gave it a B for the instrumental. I gave it an A for production, and I gave it a B for vibes. I originally gave it an A, but I think I'm going to knock it down to a B for vibes. Because like I said, I wasn't really too high on this song. So a C for lyrics, a B for instrumental, an A for the production, and a B for the vibes. Because I don't really have much to say about this song.
Yeah, we're pretty neck and neck on this one, actually. Vibes, I did have a B initially. I did have both B and production an A. I do like a lot of like the like electric that he's doing here. I guess it's not necessarily. It could be synth, but I do like the sound of it. The bass is, I think, pretty heavy. Man, it's like weird to like say there's a chorus in like the instrumental, but like
It's a legit
it's like
with
solemn, like where it's like mostly just like bass with like a little bit of like electric, and then it gets like very electric, and there's like more stuff going on. So like both like the beat and the production, I gave A's. But then yeah, I mean lyrically, like what are you really gonna do like besides like a C? And that's like if we're not like really like writing like a whole ass thesis on like 2 lines that are in here.
Legit. Like we're writing a thesis statement on what the 4 lines in total that the song is. Like the song is, I think it's time for you to leave. I think it's time. I see what you are, and this dream's gone too far. That is the 4 lines of this song. But they could mean everything in terms of what the album is. Which is why I'll give it a C for lyrics. But I think we're giving it a C for lyrics just because of the potential of what those lyrics could be. Like, if we were actually probably to rate this, what do you think? For 4 lines. But, I mean, they could, like we said, they could be extremely impactful to whatever it is. Because if you think about it, what he did with the production, too, on this album was he was kind of fading into the production. Like, if we go back and listen to the song, like, we could barely understand what he was saying. He was kind of fading into the back with the production of the beat. Mm-hmm. So it was kind of like, you know, maybe this is now him fading out of the relationship with this girl. I don't know.
Yeah. This is a 3-minute and 40-second song. I don't know there's anything he could possibly say in those 4 lines that would make me give this a B. Lyrically.
Not at all. Like we said, we were kind of mainly just here for the instrumental and the production. The production was really well done, I think. The only reason why I didn't give there's a few reasons why I didn't give the production an S. Like I said, one, some of the things he is kind of like faded in with the beat. Yeah. But there is a way that I did like that he did that like electronic sound, quote unquote, the synth, whatever it may be, whatever instrument that he used there. I just thought that it fit really well, and he kind of gave us a nice sound, which is why I gave him an A for the production and a B for the instrumental, because the instrumental was okay, but the production and how everything mixed together, I thought was well done. But yeah, that for me, that's all of my thoughts for Lord of Nothing. Do you have anything else to add?
I got a whole lot of nothing to add, bro. Just like
a whole lot of nothing. A whole Lord of Nothing to add.
Got a whole Lord of Nothing to add.
Yeah, a whole Lord of Nothing.
No, yeah. I mean, I do like the I do really like the what's going on like musically.
Right.
Which I think is essentially the main focus, because I mean, yeah, he doesn't have anything outside of 4 lines. It's just
it just is that. It is what it is. like we said for Kanye's album, this song just is what it is.
It is what
it is. But this album overall has to be like, if I'm gonna rate it on a scale of 1 to 10, for me, this has to be either a 9 out of 10 or a 10 out of 10 album for me personally. I really enjoy every aspect of it. The only reason why I would probably give it a 9 out of 10 though is because, like I said, there is those 3 songs like in Stay Still, Like Love, and See Myself, where like I gotta be in a specific mood to listen to those. Oh, and then the 4th one, Lord of Nothing. I honestly think that has to maybe grow on me, but like I said, outside of the 4 lines, it has nothing much more to offer for lyrics outside of an essay on a theory of what they could be. But yeah, I like this album. I like this project much. For me to like, 14? Well, technically I like all of them. But for me to really heavily love 14 out of the 18, and for me to like all 18, I think this album deserves either a 9 out of 10 or a 10 out of 10. Also, we are doing a video of our top 10 albums on all time. Spoiler alert for me, this one is on that list. So I think that if it's in my top 10 albums of all time, it would have to be a 10 out of 10, right? Because there's no way you would put a 9 out of 10 on your top 10 of all time. Maybe your top 15, top 20, but
it depends on how many albums you've heard.
It has to be 10 out of 10, yeah. What is your rating, Lily?
I would definitely probably go somewhere between an 8 and a 9, maybe closer to that 9 side, like a strong 8, than like a Fatano or whatever his name is. I didn't even mean
Anthony Fantano.
Yeah,
Anthony Fantano with his strong 8.
I didn't even mean to do that.
Well, one day maybe we gotta have him on an episode of the podcast, bro, if we get big enough.
Genuinely hilarious. Genuinely hilarious.
You know, an episode of Fathers of Taste featuring Anthony Fantano. But yeah, the album's a 10 out of 10 for me, honestly.
Yeah, probably close. Yeah, probably close to a 9. I think there's just like a few songs that, because of their length or their material, like whichever one it is, I mean, sometimes it's both, I'm not the biggest fan of. Like, I don't see myself listening to all of these really on like a regular basis, but there's definitely a lot here to love, like production wise. Like, honestly, if I were listening to this album just off like production and like the beats, then I probably would like listen to like everyone. Like, I don't think I was ever really let down music like wise in any of these.
Yeah, I think they were. I'm looking at it for production. We don't have a single one under A. Well, I don't have a single one under A for production. For vibes, I don't have anything above a B for this album. For instrumental, I don't have anything lower than a B for this album. Or for instrumental, sorry, I don't have anything lower than a B. And lyrics, we have the C just because of the outlier of Lord of Nothing. Outside of that, though, every other song was S, A, or B. So like there were some good things that he did. There was a lot of good things that he did with this album. And Suburban is he's very heavy in terms of lyricism. Like, that's just what his writing has always been. Even when you go back and you listen to his biggest song of all time that was like a hit, it was playing everywhere, Cradles. Even if you go back and listen to Cradles, you look at his lyrics and like, yeah, this man has always been good when it comes to writing lyrics. That's always been his strength, his strong suit. That's always been his purpose. That and his production, his ability to make his instrumentals and all that good stuff is like, he's always been well with that. He's always been good at that. And this album kind of just encapsulates all of that talent that he has rolled up into an 18-track deluxe.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely one that I'm happy to have like revisited, because some opinions have changed. Honestly, for the most part, things haven't changed too much, probably in terms of like rankings and stuff, but like I think I've enjoyed elements of other ones that I didn't back then. Like, there were like songs that I was like completely uninterested in, but like going like this time around, like even like the shorter ones, I'm like, there's still like something to like here, whether it's like the production or if it's just the instrumental, or maybe it's just like everything coming together, but like as a B, but it's still like a decent enough like vibe. So, you know, it was still definitely good to come back to. Like, months later.
And so that is the conclusion of If Nevermore, Anhedonia, or just simply, as we're going to put it, probably just the deluxe, If Nevermore, the deluxe version. Moses has the album that we're going to be listening to next week, and I'm curious to hear what he has to say. So far, we've done hip-hop / rap, and Kanye's Bully. Then we had If Nevermore, the album that we just discussed today, which is alternative, but it's more focused like rock. It's more like alternative in the sense of dark pop, rock, and like techno / electronic. And now Moses is going to give us his album for next week.
Yes, sir. All right. So, honestly, when you said that you wanted to do If Nevermore, basically as our like second album that we would listen to, like third episode, second album after Bully, with that like dark kind of rock / like electric kind of sound, it made me think about this more. I mean, actually, same year as the original If Nevermore. Now that I think about it, they were both 25. 21 Pilots Breach, which I don't know why I listened to it, because I'd never really listened to a full 21 Pilots album, but
Not even Blurryface?
No, I know
Not
a good.
even Blurryface?
I know like a good bit of songs from. Not even a good bit of songs. I know a few songs from Blurryface.
Nah, you haven't even listened to Blurryface front to back?
No, never.
Are you serious?
No, I mean yes, I am serious. Yeah, I never did.
No way. Alright, so oh man, that just gave me an idea. We're gonna have to visit that. But it's gonna have to be like way later on down the line, because we're not trying to repeat artists in the podcast. Like there's so many different albums out there. Probably like billions of albums now out in the world. So that's like more than enough songs to not repeat an artist on the podcast. But sometimes we might just have to repeat an artist because there is a piece of genuine work that maybe the other needs to listen to. So, for example, like Moses definitely needs to listen to the whole of Blurryface. So that might actually be an episode that we do sooner or later. But for right now, he's given us Breach by 21 Pilots. But we are going to have to listen to that Blurryface album.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I know Blurryface like really like blew them up. I don't know why I listened to like the Breach. Like I just randomly saw that it had like released. Like, it released back in, like, this past September, and I think, because sometimes, like, on Apple Music, I'll just, like, get, like, recommended, like, albums and songs that, like, just dropped. So, I was like, oh, shoot, like, a new 21 Pilots. I was like, let me listen to that, and, you know, I really liked it. I mean, it's it's labeled as alternative, so it's another alternative album, like, If Nevermore. But this one, throughout, I would say it's more rock heavy. I mean, 21 Pilots. It's like rock, kind of like with like rap. Like they do a good
do a
bit
mix
of
like a lot of different styles. Yeah.
So you could just imagine like what this is.
Even like from like, I hate that I keep mentioning Blurryface, but it was the project that blew them up, and it is probably their most essential album, their most classic album, if you will. Like, that's probably the best piece of discography they have. Maybe outside of the album that Car Radio was on. But I honestly think this one was probably more impactful. Blurryface was probably more impactful by far. On that one, he had rock, rap, reggae, electro.
Good Lord.
Like, it just... He had like everything on this album. He had like some kind of like hard rock. Like he had a bunch of different genres on Blurryface. So like, if you're talking about 21 Pilots, you're thinking all of these different genres, and yeah, that's basically probably what we're gonna be getting into when we listen to Breach. So, it is solidified. Breach by 21 Pilots is indeed the next episode of the podcast.
It is a 13 song, 47 minute.
Oh, that's not bad. That's not bad. 13 songs, 47 minutes. That means it's definitely they're full songs. So I don't think we should be complaining about, them being too short.
No.
So that's what about a little bit over 3 minutes a song.
We've got some long ones too. We've got some over 5 minutes on this.
I mean, hey, that's always been them though. They've always had longer songs. Like most of the 21 Pilots that I know is 3 minutes and above. So this isn't new for them. But ladies and gentlemen, you have the album for next week. So hop to it, start listening to it, and then you guys can follow along with us as we make our ratings for this album. So ladies and gentlemen, again, we thank you for listening to the Fathers of Taste podcast with your hosts, Eli, and your other host, Moses.
Yo.
And we really do appreciate you guys for listening to Fathers of Taste. We want to continue every episode getting better. We also, before we officially leave, we also want to apologize. We lied to you guys. We said we were aiming for 30 minutes to an hour. And the past 2 episodes been definitely way over an hour. But we did say in the first episode that depending on how passionate we are about the album, it might just be like whatever it is. So whatever time we get is the time that it's gonna be. But all right, officially, we are out. Thank you again for listening to Fathers of Taste, and we will see you guys next time.
Peace.
Peace.